Fucking hell, that was cringy. Anyway, hello everyone. Today we're going to take a look at a video that I personally fucking hate. I'm probably going to title this video like Things I Despise, Console Plebs. Even though it isn't quite fitting for him, but he does say some things that are just a whole level of just bad. I mean, so I'll just go over the video point by point and say something about it.
I wanted to do a video today though, and this is something that I keep getting asked a lot, so this is going to kind of hopefully explain it a little better, but why I prefer console over PC.
You see, preference is one thing that no one can take it away from you. If you prefer console over PC, totally fine. But what you're unfortunately about to say in just a second is
PC gaming doesn't make up the vast majority of the market, but
PC has a huge player base. To put it into perspective, on Steam alone, there are currently, as of right now, me making this video, there are almost 15 million players currently using Steam. Just like that, and that is only a portion of all of the PC users, because not everyone uses Steam and not everyone games on a PC. What you instead should have said was the ones gaming. You just said that PC in general is not a huge portion of the market. However, it is much bigger than the consoles. Well, not much bigger. Unfortunately, PS4 at least is not giving out any stats from what I've seen. And up until the point where PlayStation finally releases their numbers, or Xbox for that matter, I can only imagine what the true player count is. But still, you saying that does not invalidate anything. Even if console had 3 times the amount of players that PC has, that does not make it any worse.
I'm sure some of you are booing and hissing at what I just said right now.
It's not a lie like I initially thought, but it's just a lack of research and logical thinking.
Reasoning is going to be very straightforward. None of it's going to be anything that you can really counter-argue easily.
You've yet to even make a point, and I've already counter-argued you multiple times.
So PC is definitely a pricier route to start. I mean, a $500 PC is going to be similar to that of the newer consoles.
No, please, stop. Alright, just a simple YouTube search will give you at least a few thousand builds. And it's not pricier. It's just that you can get more for more money. Consoles are consoles. You either get the current generation for 350 to 400, depending on what console it is, or you get the last generation for a little less. Simple as that. But for PC you can get... no PC is identical to the other. It's barely possible unless it is intended. My PC right here cost 500 euros. I don't know how much that is in $500. It doesn't really matter anyway, because a console here is 400 euros. It outperforms it easily. And I can easily imagine that even if I had just a $50 graphics card, Euro graphics card, instead of a 150 Euro graphics card, it would still outperform a console. But you're certainly not locked to just 350 to 400 or less for, of course, less performance. So no, PC is not a pricier start. That's the great thing about PC. You to decide what price the build is going to be.
I don't really understand when people go, yeah, I built a $500 gaming PC. Like, if you're gonna build a gaming PC, go big or go home.
Absolutely disgusting. Do you really? How much of a piece of trash do you have to be to actually think that you can that you can augment the price of others' builds. Seriously. If they want to go, and if any person, whoever it may be, wants to go for a $500 PC, they should do it. That is the great freedom of PC building. You can augment any given price. And you just saying that if you're gonna get a better rig than a console, you should go much better. It's just disgusting. You have no right to tell anyone else what they should get.
I love the Xbox Live experience.
Love you this.
Oh my god.
I like how easy it is. I don't like having to go and get other different programs.
Yes, because that would actually take some effort. You know, like moving your hand, clicking.
Such as TeamSpeak.
No one uses TeamSpeak. No one.
And stuff like that, just to be able to communicate easily. I do understand that Blizzard now has their own built-in communication. Steam might even have one as well.
Might? You earlier explained that you are a, as you say it, PC literate, saying that you already have a lot of experience with PCs, but you still prefer consoles. For some fucking reason, you have yet to actually explain that without me refuting your points. But as someone who, as you say, has a lot of experience with PC and therefore wants to strengthen his argument with that fact, should know that Steam has voice chat.
I don't like having to worry about drivers. I don't like having to worry about compatibility modes. Half the games that I own on Steam, because I like to play older games on my PC, such as like System Shock, I have to go and I have to fiddle with compatibility modes for it.
Well, I mean, I do see your point. You don't like having to worry about driver updates. I see that, even though that's lazy. But you had made your claim, but your reasoning to strengthen that claim had nothing to do with the actual claim. You said you didn't want to worry about drivers, but then you said you couldn't play older games without having to worry about compatibility modes. You see, driver updates are just updates that you need to, well, download in order to have a better experience. Those are improvements always being put out by various producers. For example, Nvidia. It's not Nvidia, by the way. You sound fucking retarded when you say Nvidia. Anyway, which is of course unfortunate, but even there you went wrong. But even worse, it doesn't have much to do with putting the consoles in a better light. It explains why you don't like PC, but it doesn't help your claim that you prefer consoles, because on consoles you can't even play System Shock. You can't play these old games. You can't. They're before the console's time.
I don't have a lot of spare time to game. I have 2 kids. I work full time, and then I do YouTube pretty consistently. Like I take YouTube very seriously. My channel is very important to me. You guys are very important to me. So when I sit down to play my game, being able to just up and go is fantastic.
You see, this is the only real point that he makes that I can actually see, that I can actually understand. Because that is actually a very good thing. Before I called him lazy, because he wouldn't care about the driver updates, and in general he would prefer simplicity of use. And at first I thought that would come from laziness, in which case I would well, get up your ass and put in some effort for if you want more. But since he doesn't have much free time, as he says, I can see why he would prefer consoles. He barely has time to game, so obviously he's not going to waste that time figuring out how to game in a better way. So good on you, mate. You have made a good point. I'll give you that. Maybe I'll leave this video here, unless he says something that's pretty fucking retarded. I don't think I will continue this video.
I feel console has better exclusives.
Oh boy, close one, close one. For one second I thought he would say more exclusives, but okay. Better he goes on to explain in just a second how he likes, for example, he likes a game called Civs. I'm not sure what he said, what it was called. Anyway, he said that he liked that, and that was a PC exclusive, but he said it's not Halo. So obviously this is subjective. Well, this whole video is subjective in its entirety. Luckily for him, and so that is, well, it's not a valid point, but it's mainly to me, but it's mainly because it's a purely subjective thing. So close one, my boy.
PC doesn't cater to split screen.
Well, this has been going on for long enough. Luckily, his last point, which is about mouse and keyboard, is obviously preference, and it's him saying that he is not very good with mouse and keyboard. One thing that I've noticed about that point is that he mostly compares it to first-person shooters, which I can see why, because it's basically the biggest difference, since it's mostly a very fast-paced gameplay, which needs precise controls in order to be accurate, which is not achievable with a controller. So I can see his point there. He's more comfortable on playing on a controller. Totally fine. Again, preference, it's subjective. It helps his point why he prefers console gaming, but I can't really refute his point at that point, since what am I supposed to say? No, you do like fucking mouse and keyboard. You do. I can't make him like it. I can't, and I won't. So even though this was a rather nice and more calmed example of a, well, not really console peasant, but more of a people that I don't really like, I can't make him love PC or leave console behind, and I will not even try, but I will say this. PC is objectively better than console. It's a simple fact. I cannot think of a single thing that is better on console than on PC that isn't a subjective thing, which were the only two things that he said were subjective, were actually, well, not really valid points, but things I could wrap my head around. So all in all, even though this seemed like a rather nice guy, he wasn't impolite and he was calm the entire video, he unfortunately was wrong. So actually, now that I think about it, it does fit into the category of things I despise. People who are wrong about PC gaming. I think I'll just still console peasants or some shit, just for the sake of being lazy, you know. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did and you would like to see more content like this in the future, make sure to drop a like, and I'll see you guys later.
So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name, 'cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny 'cause we just won't eat, and we'll hang out in the cool